Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Show's World.
Welcome to Show's World Gamers, Josh here, and it is once again that time of the week. That's right, as this week draws to a close, I want to take a moment to look at, well, some of the biggest news stories from this week, but I am making this video a little bit early, so if we miss anything, we'll talk about it next week, but I do have a few news stories here for you. Also, we'll look at some of the biggest gaming announcements from this week, and of course, as always, we will finish off with this week's biggest video game releases. But do me a quick favor, if this is your first time on the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join in on the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this week in review with a few news stories. Now, this week started a little early as, well, we got some huge news dropping pertaining to Xbox's future. Now, in a now deleted image, we can see here, thanks to The Verge, who actually grabbed the image before it was taken down. In the image, we see a mock-up of a new Xbox user interface expected to be an update design for Xbox devices. The big shocker here is the inclusion of a tab labeled Steam. Now, Microsoft has recently become a proponent of their games being played anywhere, with first-party Xbox games releasing on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. But Sony, well, they have been adamant that they will not be following suit. But with just about all their big first-party games now regularly getting PC releases via Steam, this means that these games may actually end up on Xbox consoles inadvertently when and if this new user face comes to Xbox consoles. Also, last week's big release of Assassin's Creed Shadow found itself plunged back into the news once again this week, as while the game has been very popular amongst fans, it looks fantastic. I haven't got a chance to jump in, but I'm looking forward to it. It looks really good. There was a day one patch to change a very specific event in the game that has now been revealed. Apparently, news has come out of Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Toshiba, who addressed concerns about a scene that depicts Yasuke destroying, I'm going to butcher this name, I apologize, Itatehoize Shrine, a real-life location in Himeji, Hogo Prefecture. Now, this did trigger an update as a day one release that makes it so players cannot destroy or damage shrines in the game. Alright, next up, let's take a look at a few gaming announcements. Now, System Shock 2 20th Anniversary Remaster received an announcement trailer this week, with the game releasing on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox systems on June 26. Now, this is a remake of the classic 1999 sci-fi horror game and will be the first classic System Shock playable on consoles. The title is a favorite for PC horror game fans and has been long requested to get an upgraded version, so it's finally coming. Now, Mandragora, Whispers of the Witch Tree, received an announcement trailer, with the game coming to PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series systems on April 17th. The game is an epic 2.5D action role-playing game with said to have some Metroidvania as well as some Souls-like gameplay, and it's set in a dark fantasy world overrun with monsters, and this looks pretty promising. This is definitely something I'm going to keep on my radar. Now, Painkiller also received an announcement trailer, bringing back the intense fast-action first-person shooter franchise with some impressive visuals, co-op action, and, well, just hordes of monsters to fight through with some pretty intense firepower. If you're a fan of the fast run-and-gun, over-the-top, first-person shooter carnage of games like Doom Eternal, this game is going to be right up your alley. The game is scheduled to release on the PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series systems later this year in the fall. Alright gamers, let's finish up with this week's new video game releases. Now first, Berserker Kazan released this week on the PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series systems. The game is a single-player, highly challenging action role-playing game set in the same world as the popular DNF franchise, but hundreds of years in the past. You will take on the role of Kazan, a former general of the Peldos Empire, who was framed for treason and banished to the snowy mountains. After escaping death, Kazan embarks on a quest for revenge. Now, we did play kind of an early version of the game here on the channel, and I will link that video at the end of this one, so definitely check that out. Also, Atomfall released this week on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. And I didn't check this. I believe this is a day one release on Game Pass. Now, the game is a survival action game set in an alternative version of 1960s England, 5 years after a disastrous nuclear disaster. The game is actually inspired by real-life events. Adamfall is set 5 years after the Windscale nuclear disaster in northern England. And this game looks promising. I'm probably going to check it out, especially if it is a Game Pass game. Now, Bubble Ghost Remake released this week on the Nintendo Switch and PC. In the game, you guide a little ghost and his bubble through an enchanted castle full of dangers and challenges in this incredible remake of the popular classic puzzle adventure game, Bubble Ghost, that originally released on the Atari ST all the way back in 1987. Now, we played an early version of the remake a while back, and I will link that video at the end of this one. We had some fun with it. This is one that you might want to check out. Now, we also received an announcement late last week, and, well, today, we got the release of 4 new classic games added to the Nintendo Switch Online service. This time, in the Super Nintendo library of games. And if you're a fan of 16-bit strategy-based games, well, this drop is definitely for you. The games included are all Koei Tecmo games. They are Nobunaga's Ambition, also Nobunaga's Ambition Lord of Darkness. We also got Uncharted Waters New Horizons. I never played that game. It looks pretty awesome. And the last one was Romance of the Three Kingdoms Wall of Fire. Alright gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on March 28th. The week started with Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition releasing as what will most likely be one of the last big AAA Switch-only releases. And, well, they're finishing strong, as this game is getting high review scores, and I expect this is going to be in the talks at the end of the year for Game of the Year. Then, well, we found ourselves on a family trip to the coast for some spring break fun. And the week ended with us only days away from the Nintendo Switch 2 Special Nintendo Direct Showcase. I cannot wait. I can't wait to see when we're getting this system, how much it's going to cost, and more importantly, what we're going to be playing on it. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today, gamers. Shows World, out.